Hey everybody, and welcome. Good to see you. I thought I'd take some time to fill in a couple of gaps, I guess, and discuss exactly why I haven't been on YouTube lately and what I am doing now, in case you happen to be interested. It's, I guess, the main reason to really put it in a nutshell is I don't consider myself to be that interesting. I'm not that interesting a person. Right? The van is the star. The camper van is the thing that people want to see, right? That's why y'all tuned in. That's what is, I guess, helping guide people through their own builds. The van is the star for sure. So, the truth is that once I did all the initial designs and gave everybody the picture of what it looks like to build out the camper van, then the van just became sort of one part of, you know, bigger and more important things that have been happening in my life. So I'll let you in on some of those in just a minute. But for the benefit of the few of you kind souls that do check into the channel once in a while, I thought I would fill in a couple of gaps. First, where am I now? Well, I'm in Mexico, and it's a lot of fun. What am I doing here? Well, we're trying to reconfigure our lifestyle. My husband and I, we really want to change our lives to a point where we can include the things that are most important to us. Those are traveling across the US in our camper van, spending time with family, and being able to travel outside the US as well. So, how do we dare think we can afford any of this? Well, I'll explain all that in just a minute. But in the meantime, I want to say that we are meeting some of our goals, okay? What we have been doing, some of this big picture stuff, is over the summer and the fall, we traveled across the US. And at the end of the year, we were able to spend some extended time with family for the holidays. That was awesome. And now we're here spending some time in Mexico, getting away from it all and seeing new sights. So, to understand how we put this together so we could be able to afford doing all this, we have to go way, way back. Okay, we have to go back to earlier in the year. We handled some really big picture, some really big important stuff that never made it to YouTube. The first part is that we decided to turn our second property, a rental property, into a short-term vacation rental. All right, now this was already a long-term rental property that had some tenants coming and going through there. It was kind of, beat up, I guess. It just wasn't a place anybody took a whole lot of tender loving care with, besides us who made sure that it was all functioning properly. But to turn it into essentially a luxury hotel experience for short-term vacation renters was a huge, huge project. It included things like patching walls with giant holes in them, installing a pergola to make it a little more luxurious. We had to handle landscaping and get tree work done, not to mention all the design efforts that we put into the interior, painting walls, finding all the furniture, all of it, every single thing for the kitchen. I mean, it was huge. And I don't know how anybody ever did this before Amazon existed, because it would have taken forever. It already took a long time. We needed to get that done as quickly as possible because it costs money when the place isn't rented out. So we also had to get it done as soon as possible because right after that was finished, we had to tackle the next big thing to be addressed, and that was surgery on my hand. I developed somehow really bad arthritis in both of the bases of my thumbs. It is not pretty. It is super painful. If you're experiencing it, or if you ever have experienced it, then I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about and how awful it can be. So it's not that I wanted to get a surgery. As a matter of fact, it's my philosophy in life that you never get surgery unless you absolutely have to. And it got to the point that I absolutely could not ignore the pain that I was dealing with every day. So, on to get thumb surgery in one hand. That, it was a big process. Of course, it's surgery, so it was a lot to go under. That was the beginning of a long recovery. This is a surgery that takes forever to fully recover from. If you fully recover yet, I'm not even sure, but I'm on the road. I'm probably at about 90% back to where I was, full functionality of my hand. So we'll see if it gets to 100. But that obviously was just something that had to be handled, and it really was imperative for the rest of my life that I'm able to use my thumbs and not have debilitating pain every day. Still, the jury is out to see if I will get the second thumb done. I don't know. So all that stuff being said, yeah, those were some really huge issues that had to be handled over the last year plus, etc. I felt like because I wasn't building anything in the van, that I really didn't have anything to say about the van. So I kind of dropped off the whole YouTube thing for a little while. Going forward from here, what will the YouTube channel look like? Well, I definitely am going to continue to make videos about the changes, some of the improvements that we've done in the van, because I think those are very interesting. And anybody who's interested in building their own would probably want this kind of information. So yeah, I'll go forward and include a lot of that aspect for you. Also, those of us who are running successful Airbnbs and short-term rentals, what does it look like to be a successful host of those? I don't know if that's something that anybody's really interested in. I do obviously have a lot of information about that. We've built them ourselves, designed them ourselves. We've rented them out with no management, with bad management, and with good management. So we have all the experiences from every way you can possibly do it. I'm not sure if any of that will actually make it to the channel, but if anybody's interested, I could talk about that kind of stuff as well. But I also might include some travel aspects. I mean, this is, just one small part of Mexico here, and it is an amazing place. So if anybody's interested in where we're traveling, either outside the U.S. or our cross-country within the U.S. trips we take all summer long, plus some, then that also might be of interest to you. So we'll see how it goes. I'd like to throw a couple of different things at the wall and see what sticks. So that being said, various interesting things that come up throughout the year, then I'll let you know what's going on. I'm glad that we had a chance to catch up, and that's all I got for you today, but I'll see you next time.